You get in the line over here, and the people over here are processing those, giving a temporary receipt that indicates the money has been paid, and as long as the check clears, the taxes will be paid. So if you have cashier's check or money order, those are two ways you pay right now. Otherwise, if you want to pay with cash, the only way to pay with cash is on the 5th floor at the cashier's window. Please do not pay cash up here to anybody. If somebody tries to take cash up here, they are scamming you out of your money. So if I tell you, I want you to pay me cash, you go to this deputy and have you arrested. Okay? Because we are not allowed to accept cash up here. 719, 720, 721. Okay. So we're calling large groups of numbers that go downstairs, and individual numbers come up here and talk. Now, if you aren't ready to make a payment, have a seat, please. If you aren't, okay, if you aren't ready to make a payment, you just want to find out what's the tax status or what can I do, then you want to wait and see the people up here. They will pull up your tax records and they'll answer all of your questions. Now, the questions then become, what can Okay. Now, I want to go over the programs that we got there because these are really pretty cool. Please understand, nobody has done more to try and help distressed taxpayers than Ray Tovich. He established the Taxpayer Assistance Department to help people avoid foreclosure. It was our staff that accessed federal money to help pay people's taxes. We've helped 5,000 families avoid foreclosure with that. We now have this interest reduction stipulated payment agreement, and that's the next thing we're going to cover with you. So, $720, $721, $722, $723, $724, $724, come on now. 725, 725, 726, 727. There you go, come on now. 728, 729, 730. So yes, I get interrupted here from time to time because he hypnotized me yesterday. So whenever he says a number, I start saying numbers. So we're gonna get you out here as quickly as we can. But the interest reduction stipulated payment agreement, I want to explain it. First of all, how many of you own and live in your home? Okay, you want to listen up very carefully to these next couple parts here. How many of you own and live in your home and you have a principal residence exemption on your home? How many of you don't know what that is? Okay. I want you to understand, so let me ask you another stupid question. How many of you think you're paying too much in taxes? Okay. Okay. We agree, we want you to pay as little tax as you can. If you own and live in your home and you do not have a principal residence exemption, you're paying too much in taxes voluntarily because you failed to file a form. Now the principal residence exemption says you should pay less tax on a home you own and live in than somebody who owns 5 houses. It seems to make some sense to me, it makes some sense to government. So if you own and live in your home, you need to get a PRE, principal residence exemption. So with the principal residence exemption, what you do is you need to take your deed or land contract with your name on it to your local city hall. If you are in the city of Detroit, that is the 8th floor of the Coleman Young Municipal Center, also known as the City County Building. The 8th floor. You take those documents over there, you apply for a PRE. they can process the PRE immediately, and it will reduce your taxes going forward. Also though, if you have a PRE on your property, it will allow us to put you in an interest reduction stipulated payment agreement. That means you'll make some payments and we'll reduce the interest rate from 18% down to 6%. This is really cool. It's saving some people $300, $500, even over $1,000. So, how do you get into the interest reduction stipulated payment agreement? First of all, you get that PRE. Then you have to pay 10% down. That 10% we're not basing on all of the taxes owed, we're basing it on the base tax. What does that mean? The base tax. I was working with a woman the other day, she had taxes, she owed $4,200. She says, I can't afford that. I said, no kidding. But the base tax was $3,400. $731, $732, $732. Now, but the base tax on that $4,200 bill was $3,400. She said, I can't afford that. I said, I know. But 10% of $3,400 was $340. 733, 734, 735, 736, 736. So now the $340, she said, I can afford to pay that. Her monthly payments are $115 a month. She said, I can afford that. Now we got a tricky part here. When you get into this agreement, those monthly payments are going to last about 4.5 years to get rid of the taxes, but our interest rates are going to go from 18% down to 6%. But you must not allow any other taxes to go delinquent. So when Detroit sends you the summer tax, you have to pay that on time. Now, let me tell you something. 737, 738, 739, 740, 741, 742, 743, 744, 745, 746, 747, it's an airliner. 747, 748, 749, 750, 751, 752, 753, 754, 754, there it is. Okay, so I want to tell you something that I was only able to tell the public starting yesterday. This is really cool. I called up Mayor Duggan and I said, we have people who get these big tax bills in July and they're too much to handle. Can we let these people pay on a monthly basis? He has agreed that on the 2015 taxes, you get those in the summer, in July, as long as you get them paid by February of 2016, he will, and you're on the interest reduction stipulated payment agreement with us, he will not charge any interest or any fees on that amount. So you get your bill in July, as long as you make sure that they know you're on interest reduction stipulated payment agreement with us, they'll let you pay over the course of the next 8 months. That's really awesome. You get a low monthly payment from us. He creates a program where it's a low monthly payment for them. You stay in your home, you stabilize the neighborhoods, and we strengthen Detroit. So that's the interest reduction stipulated payment agreement now. So here's a question for you. How many of you own and live in your home and would like to see the federal government pay your taxes? Really? Okay, I'm not really that though. Okay, I want to talk to you about this program. This is really pretty important. You remember about 7 years ago we bailed out the bank to the tune of billions of dollars? Whose money was that? Okay, that was our money. We said, great for Wall Street, what about, actually we didn't say that, but we said, what about Main Street? What are you going to do for us? So they set aside some money for each of the states to help people with delinquent their mortgage and delinquent their taxes to pay their mortgage and their taxes. When I got in here, I said, wait a minute, I got thousands of people who don't have mortgages, but they owe taxes. Can you do that? I said, no. I said, why not? They told me the reasons. Now I'm a lawyer, so I found a loophole. We went to Mishta in Lansing. They went to HUD in DC, and in 4 months we got approval so that people use this money to pay their taxes. So far, we've accessed $45 million to help 5,000 families pay their taxes in full. So if you qualify for this program, I want you to get in this program. If I see you drinking a lot of water, because I had cancer and I have bad salad tonight, so don't worry about it. Here's what you got to do to get this federal money to pay your taxes. First of all, you must own and live in your home. You must own your home pursuant to a deed, not a land contract. You must have a deed in your name recorded in the Register of Deeds. That's number one. Number two, you must have suffered an involuntary financial hardship that made it difficult for you to pay your taxes. That would be a cut in pay, loss of a job. It could be a serious illness in the family that made it difficult for you to pay your taxes. 756, 757, 758, 759, 760, 761, 762. There we go, 762, 763, 764. 765, 766, 767, 767. Okay. Involuntary financial hardship made it difficult for you to pay. So deed in your name, involuntary financial hardship. Then you must have enough money that if they pay off your back taxes, you can take care of your next taxes. Now, that is defined as you must have income equal to 2.5 times your taxes. If your taxes for the year are $2,000, you must have $5,000 in income. It's not hard to get on this plan. Now, if you qualify for this plan, you don't just pay your taxes. It's a loan. But listen to the terms of this loan. We're charging an 18% interest rate. This loan is interest-free. You don't pay any interest on the loan. Also, it's a 5-year loan. If you live there for another year, you stay in the house for a year, they will forgive 20% of the loan. If you stay there another year, they forgive another 20%. So if you stay there for 5 years, you don't have to pay back the loan. This is a really good program. If you think you might qualify, you've got to go to stepforwardmichigan.org, stepforwardmichigan.org, and apply for this program. Stepforwardmichigan.org. Okay.
Come on, girl.
So I talked about the IRSPA, the Interest Reduction Certificate of Payment Agreement. Talked to you about Step Forward. I now want to talk to you about $921 to $960. Please hit the elevator. $921 to $960. To the elevators, please. $921 to $960. Thank you very much for helping us. Okay, I'm going to let them get out of here, then I'll go over something else. Okay, now, talking about Step Forward, talking about first, I want to talk about stipulated payment agreements, that's SPA. If you own a property and you don't live there, or you own a property, it's commercial, industrial, it's a rental, you say, what's in it for me? I will tell you, first of all, we try to get the interest reduced. The legislature wouldn't do that. Therefore, what we offer to people who have those properties is a stipulated payment agreement. The stipulated payment agreement will take all your taxes from 2012 and before 2012. Now, if you had a plan last year, you must pay that off before we put you on a plan for this year. What you do, we take all the 2012 and prior taxes, put them together, divide by 5 to give us 20% payments, and you pay 20% per month. So you pay 20% now, 20% a month now, and so on. Actually, in June, we'll drop that 20% to 10%. We've got to get 20% payments. Had you been here in January, it would have been 10% each month, but now it's going to be 20% because of the waive. So, that's a stipulated payment agreement. That is a good program for anybody who owns a property and doesn't qualify for the other programs. Now, let me talk to you about how you make these payments. We love seeing y'all. Socially, we can avoid it. Professionally, we'd like to do that. We know y'all love to come down here and see us. But if you don't have to come down, then it'd be kind of nice. So how can you avoid coming out here? There's 3 ways to make your payments. The first way is you come down here and you pay. If you're paying cash, that's the only way you can pay is to come down here. You pay $10 for parking each time you come down. So if you make 12 payments, that's $120. It's not going into your pocket. It's not paying your taxes. So it's $120. You pay by mail. Now look up there. There's your yearly cost options. $120 to pay in person, $26.76 to pay by mail, $0 to pay online with EFT. I'm going to run through that with you real quickly here. So if you come down here and pay in person, it probably costs you $120 a park. If you pay by mail, 49 cents for a stamp, $1.50 for a money order at the post office. Now you're going to tell me, but Dave, I want a receipt. Let me talk to you about receipts. I pay my electric bill every month. I never get a receipt. I pay my cable bill every month. I never get a receipt. I pay my mortgage every month. I never get a receipt. So I don't get receipts for those things. But if you want a receipt, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. We will mail you a receipt. Also, if you want a receipt, you go online, provide us an email address, and we will email you a receipt. So it costs about $25 if you use the mail and you want a receipt. You can also pay online. Online, you can go and use a credit card or debit card. You'll be charged a 2.5% service charge. But if you use an automatic deduct from your bank account, there's no charge. And if you want a receipt, you give us an email address, and we will email you a receipt. So that gets your taxes paid, you get a receipt, life is good.